Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing a video following Meredith Duxbury'S makeup routine. I'm sure we've all seen it by now. Her makeup routine goes viral a lot, so I'm very curious about it. Her videos are everywhere and people have a lot to say about her makeup routine, so I wanted to see what it was all about. So what you're watching right now is the end look for me. I'm gonna tell you all of my thoughts and walk you through the entire process because this took some work. So if you want to see that whole process, then keep on watching. All right, so time to get started and get our hands dirty, literally. This makeup routine gets messy, so we're gonna put our hair back first, and then we're gonna put on the iconic headband. I've been watching a lot of her content even before doing this video, so I've become really familiar with this, and I know that she said that she uses the headband to keep the makeup from getting into her hair, so that's what I want too. So we're doing the headband. Now I knew that my face was gonna be getting very powdered, so I started with a face mist for moisture, and then I made sure to moisturize very well, just using my regular moisturizer. After that, we went in with some primer, and I know she used to use this primer, and it's actually one that I've been enjoying. It's the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and I'm gonna apply that thoroughly to my T-zone. All right, so now the fun part. I'm so excited about this. It's the foundation, and this is pretty much the attention grabber to her videos because she will do, and she said this, 10 pumps of foundation. So she puts them in the back of her hand, and I know she mixes in foundation with like a serum on there. I'm just gonna go in straight with foundation and put it on the face first, like she sometimes does with the back of a brush. And the foundation that I'm using, by the way, is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. And once I set the foundation on my face, I used every bit of it because I did not want to cheat. I used all 10 pumps of foundation and I went in with the fingers. She uses her hands, so I used my hands. And I'm very anxious and sensitive when it comes to touching anything sticky like this or getting my hands dirty, even with cooking or getting paints on my hands. I'm very sensitive to that, so I'm going out of my comfort zone here. I also made sure to cover my entire face. I did go down my neck a little bit too because I saw that this foundation was starting to oxidize on me. So I wanted to match my face to my neck. I even covered the lips with foundation too, because she always does have foundation on her lips, so let's stay accurate here. And then after that, I started to blend in the foundation to the face using my beauty blender. And just the sensation on the face is just what you would expect. It's very heavy. You definitely feel like you're wearing a lot because you are, of course, but I have to say that I was loving how smooth my face was looking. I was a little bit worried about the brows because there was foundation all over them, but I wanted to stay as true to the process as I could, so I just kept on blending. She calls herself the queen of blending, so I kept that in mind throughout the whole thing and just spent more time blending than what I thought I needed. So after foundation, I went in with concealer, and this is one of the concealers that she uses. It's a full coverage concealer. It's the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camp Concealer, and I applied as much as she does. There is absolutely no way I needed that much concealer. My under eyes were already pretty covered with foundation alone, but we're going with it. So I went in on the under eye, the chin, the forehead, and because I was running out of this concealer a little bit, I went in with a brush with my iconic London Sculpting palette and just adding more concealer. And then blending all of that out, again, more than I thought I needed. So once I was happy with how that was blended, I moved on to contour, and this part again, she goes by more is more. So that's what I did. I went in with the darkest shade in that Sculpting palette and went on the sides of the cheeks and up the temples and added a lot. And then she goes in with a brush to blend. So that's what I did. And it was at this point that she panicked. This is where I thought that I had ruined it all. The brush was kind of like spreading the product a lot more than I thought it would, and it was pretty much going all over the cheek. And also it was looking purple, which is not fault of the technique, it's more of the product in itself. So I first went in with a sponge because I freaked out with how much the product was spreading, and the sponge was gonna help me remove some of that product. And then again, I went back in with the lighter shades to the areas where the dark contour went where I didn't want it to, like under that cheekbone and the center of the forehead. And I just blended all of that out. And then once I was happy with the contour, I moved on to blush, and I'm using one that I've seen her use quite a few times in the past. It's the NARS Cosmetics liquid blush in Orgasm. And same thing, I went in with a brush, freaked out a little bit because it was a lot of product, but I kept blending, just trying to trust the process. And then I went in with a sponge just to keep blending until I was happy. Up next, we're gonna go in with powder, and I am using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the shade Fair Light. And I'm using it with a powder puff. I'm using my Blendiful and just cutting under the cheeks, setting the under eyes, sides of the nose, the forehead and chin. And with whatever's left on the sponge, I just go on to the rest of the face to set it in place. And this is where the face really starts feeling heavy, but I gotta say, it looks so smooth. So we're gonna continue with our powders, and we're gonna go in with powdered bronzer on top of that, on the sides of the cheeks and up the temples and sides of the nose. And I also went down the neck a little bit just to match the color of my face to my neck. Again, that foundation was oxidizing bad on me. And the bronzer I'm using, it's the Fenty Beauty Sun Stalk'r Instant Warmth Bronzer in the shade Private Island. So basically what we're doing is just adding powder on top of all of the cream products that we used just to really set them in place. And next is powder blush to set the liquid blush, and I'm using the Ciate London Marbled Light Illuminating Blush. And after all of that, we go in with a fluffy brush to brush away all of that excess loose powder that we were using to bake. And our favorite part is highlighter, and I wanted to use one of the brightest highlighters that I have. I went in with the Milani Strobelight Instant Glow Powder in the shade Dayglow, and I used a small dense brush, which is going to help me pack on a lot of color on there. And it's also going to make it really show up because we do have a lot of foundation and powder underneath, so we want it to pop because Meredith does love her bright highlighter, so we want to do that. And I also took that highlighter down the nose because I know she does that. And now we're gonna move on to the brows, and I went in with my usual routine because she also does use brow pencils for her brows, so I'm gonna go with that. I am brushing them out first also to get that foundation off of them. There's a lot of it in there. And the pencil that I'm using is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow Draw and Fill Pencil. This one is creamier than my usual NYX one, and it has more pigment, so I thought it'd be good for this purpose. And after that, I went in with eyeliner, and I'm doing a graphic liner design. And the eyeliner that I'm using is the NYX Epic Wear Waterproof Liner. Just being very patient with it, trying to keep a steady hand with this. So I'm going up on the outer corner of the eye for a regular wing, and then along the top lash line, and then a little point on the inner corner as well. I used, of course, a makeup wipe for mistakes and just took my time with this design. I wanted it to come out perfect. And once I had the design down with a liquid eyeliner, I went on top of that with some black eyeshadow to buff it out and smoke out the lines, and then took black eyeshadow also on the lower lash line. Once I was happy with all of that, I went in with mascara. And for some extra pizzazz, I went in with some silver glittery shadow on the very center of the look and just sprinkled in all of that glitter on there. And after that, I'm going in with lashes. I am doing the Lunar Angel lashes in the style Aurora. And then for the lips, I'm first gonna wipe off the foundation off of them, and then I'm gonna line them. Before I go in with the KKW Beauty Nude Lipstick, it's the Nude 3. And then I added some gloss on top of that. It's the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade Silk. I love this gloss so much. So thick and pretty, but not sticky at all. It's beautiful. And to set all of this in place, we ended it with the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist, which is amazing. And after all of that, I went and changed, let my hair down, and this look was complete. This is me recreating Meredith Duxbury'S makeup routine, and my final thoughts, I loved it. I felt so beautiful, and it does feel heavy on the skin, I'm not gonna lie, but it doesn't look it in person. I think I would do this again only for like photography, to take some really good pictures, because it photographs beautifully, and I was honestly super surprised that I loved it, and I would do it again. I feel really beautiful. My skin looks so smooth. And yeah, that was everything, you guys. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and like it, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.